Hey, Shalom Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kwadash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which would be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Hey, Shalom, beloved Akiyam and Akwat. I just want to get into a brief lesson, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. I came across a video came across my feed rather, off the NBC News. And, it was the spirit, because as you Akiyam and Akwat are aware of, we're in the time of war right now. And Esau's trying to avoid it. Esau, these Western Edomites are trying to avoid conflict with Russia. You see, because we know, with a bully knows when to choose his battles wisely. You see, when you have a smaller, weaker, more feeble opponent, that's when the bully will pursue, put pressure on them, disrespect them or what have you. Okay, but now, these Westerners know that Russia is a force to be reckoned with. They know and understand this. You see, and I'm talking to the governmental aspect, of this Western regime. They totally understand what type of power they're coming up against Russia, and this is why they're hesitant, to assist Israel and pursue Iran. All right, but ultimately they're going to be forced to do so, as we know, as we're aware of. Jeremiah 50, it's in Jeremiah 49 as well. Right, we understand that they're going to have no choice but to pursue. Why? Because prophecy says that's what they're going to do. You see, so listen to this real quick, right, from this dude, from Senator Rand Paul, right? It's a quick, 1 minute, maybe 2 minute. I'm going to play of this. He's on NBC News, and he's asked a question regarding how he feels about Trump, pursuing Iran. Now check this out. Let me see if I can find this real quick. I need to go to that time mark I was at. I think it was 1:10. Oh, here we go.
Memory with us. I do want to turn now overseas to the Middle East.
Here we go.
In fact, it's an active situation.
Let me bring this back a little bit. Bear with me. All right, here we go.
Thank you for sharing that memory with us. I do want to turn now overseas to the Middle East. In fact, it's an active situation right now. It's our understanding that Iran is sending missiles striking Tel Aviv as we're having this conversation. You've warned President Trump not to get involved in the conflict between Israel and Iran, saying, quote, a war with Iran would make Iraq look like a skirmish. But have a look at what Senator Lindsey Graham argues should happen if Iran does not come to the negotiating table. He says, quote, if Iran refuses this offer of the United States, I strongly believe it is in America's national security interest to go all in to help Israel finish the job. How do you respond to Senator Graham's call to go all in and help Israel finish the job, Senator?
Well, his initial response was game on, and I don't consider war to be a game. The hundreds of thousands of people that potentially will now die on both sides. For a couple thousand years, we've had this discussion over what is just war. Not only our civilization, but other civilizations have had this discussion. And one of the things that many people came to a conclusion was that preemptive or preventative war wasn't just. And so there is that. But there is also the idea that what happens to Iran, you imagine what happens in Iran now. Do they coalesce around their government, even though their government is unpopular? Does nationalism thrive? And you would think that they would probably be less likely to want to negotiate at this time particularly when they may feel that negotiations were a ruse to put them at ease until the bombing happened. So I think it's going to be very hard to come out of this and have a negotiated settlement. I see more war and more carnage, and it's not the U.S.'s job to be involved in this war. Iraq was a mess. Afghanistan was a mess. And one of the things I like about President Trump is he has shown restraint. And so I think his instincts are to not be involved in this war, but there will be a lot of pressure from Lindsey Graham and others to get involved in this war. And I hope that his instincts will prevail.
All right, let's turn now to what we all
His instincts don't matter. Okay, because at the end of the day, prophecy says what? They're going to get involved. There ain't no way around it. This is we're watching the end game of Esau. You see? His instincts don't matter. Okay, prophecy says he's going to pursue, right? And now what the world doesn't realize, let me go here real quick, that there's no peace to the wicked, as it tells us in Isaiah 57. You see? Our power, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, is a man of war, pursuing the Exodus 15:3. Okay? And this is the spirit he's bringing to you Edomites and you heathen. You see the power of hosts, Yahweh of hosts. That's how he introduces himself when it comes to the overtone of you heathen, starting with Edom. Okay, so you can guarantee that there's going to be no peace. Okay? We're actually seeing the beginning stages of what's going to bring the war, all right, that the world has ever seen, man. All right, this war right here is going to end this eon. All right, what we're going to witness in this world, man, and via this third world's war. And you see, and it's unavoidable. Now, let me get a precept real quick. Because you see how these Edomites love to, they love to wage their own opinion and, stand on, lean upon their own understanding. Let me see something here, bear with me. But this is the reality. The book of Lamentations, chapter 3, and verse 37, and it reads, "Who is he that saith, and it cometh to pass, when the Lord commanded it not," man? Okay, and then when we dive into the prophecies, all right, as far as Esau ruling and being the end of the world, the end of Esau doesn't end with peace, with a peace treaty or matter of fact, when you go into the Zondervan and Bible Compact Dictionary, it tells us that Edom was the only neighboring city of the Israelites that was promised no mercy by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So how can you expect peace to be established towards the end of your power? And that's a dream that's not going to come true. Ultimately, is what it boils down to. Okay, and again, Esau understands. These Western Edomites understand. If they stick their nose right in what's going on with Israel and Iran, boom, Russia's coming. And they understand. that. But guess what? The Lord's gonna force their hand. They're gonna have no choice but to do what's being prophesied, man. As it tells us in Romans 9, who has resisted Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's will? Nobody, man. It's not possible. All men's goings are of the Lord. You see Esau's in a dire strait. Let me go get this real quick. Let me get it in 49. All right, now check this out. This has been coming out. This is going to be coming out for some time. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 49 and verse 20, and it reads, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he had taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman, okay, which would be the Germans, man, the wiser of these Edomites, right? This is the Lord's purpose against them, man. All right, this is his counsel that he has taken against Edom. Check it out. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, okay? Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them, okay? Israel being the least of the flock of the Edomites, all right? The first of the nations, right? Ultimately, being that America is standing by them, lock, stock, and barrel, is unavoidable as far as them intervening. They're not going to break that relation. You see? They're not going to break that relation. They're all Edomites. They're all Amalekites, man. All right, they're going to step in. It's just a matter of time as far as when. All right, because right here it says what? And he shall make their habitations desolate with them, because they're going to lose. Ultimately, let's keep reading. Right? This is how bad it's going to look. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. Why? Because ICBM missiles are going to be flying. You see that thumbnail? You see the thumbnail? That's the tail end of an ICBM missile coming out of a silo, man. Okay? The waster. All right? That's what's going to cause the earth to be moved at the noise, right, of their fall. Right? At the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle and spread his wings over Basra. And this is talking about Yahweh Shai coming, man. Okay? He shall fly as the eagle, man. Okay? And spread his wings over Basra. Right? Because he's coming with thousands upon thousands of chariots along with the fathership. He's not going to be solo. And we know Basra being the capital city of Edom, right? Which Basra will be likened unto America today. You see? And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pangs, man. Okay, hey, they've heard the report. The king of Babylon has heard the report, man. All right, and he's in a position now where his back is against the wall. And now we understand, as they say, you know, all wars are bankers' wars, because we understand that the global elite have been given power, you know, to control narratives. They get rich off of war, you know. But at the end of the day, it was a snare unto them the whole time, because the Lord was controlling all that. You see? The Lord was controlling all that, man. See, their plan, as far as bringing forth this fourth industrial revolution through this conflict that's going to come out of World War III, it's not going to end the way they think. They're not going to climb up out of the smoke like the phoenix bird and be victorious and able to pursue, you know, that Georgia Guidestone, 500 million people only, and them ruling and being gods, and AI technology is the God, and, you know, they pretty much bring forth the form of man. You know, they wipe out the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know, it's a dream that's not going to come true at the end of the day. You see, this war right here is going to be the conclusion of the matter. This third world's war. It's going to be the conclusion of the matter. This is what's going to bring Esau's end. You see? This is what's going to bring Esau's end, man. Because ultimately the blessing he received in the form of the sword, all right, was actually a curse, man. Because it tells us here, let me close out with this through the Spirit. There's the book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 12, and it reads, bear with me, let me just make this maneuver. The book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 12. And the reason I'm going to jump down. The wicked, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, plotted against the just, man. The just being who? The Israelites. You see? He's been plotting against us since the beginning of time, starting with the elect, but the nation in general. See, but the majority of our people have fell victim to his plots and his snares and his tricks and his schemes. But anyways, the wicked plotted against the just and gnashed upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming, man. And the Lord's laughing at this fool through who? Through the believers, man, starting with the servants, the prophets. Okay, this dude's being made a mockery. And it's funny, I was watching Elder Yashawamba's, I believe it was the latest news and prophecy he did. And he was, combing the web. And there was, there's a video out there, it's an AI video going into how pretty much the small hats are being called out. You see, these Amalekites are being called out. They're being put on Front Street. You see, this is amazing, man. This is beautiful how this is playing out. The wicked is being revealed in his time. And this is his time. You see? And we're laughing at him. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yashai, we're laughing. Right? At the end of the day, Esau's final moments are coming into fruition. You see? And it's unavoidable. I'm jumping down to verse... I'm going to keep reading down. Verse 14. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Man, this is literally the elect. As it tells us in Revelations, Revelations 12. The dragon was wroth with the woman and went to go make war with the remnant of her seed. He really wants to get his hands on the elect because he already got the 2/3. He wants the ones that keep the commandments of the Lord. Is who he wants, who he's seeking after. But this is his outcome. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bow shall be broken, man. All right, so ultimately Esau is going to die by suicide, man. He's going to fall upon his own sword. He's not going to successfully complete the mission as far as this diabolical plan, okay, to eradicate Jacob and to rule the earth in wickedness forever. It's a plan that's not going to be fulfilled. Okay, and as we get closer and closer to salvation, it's going to become more and more evident, all right, that Esau is about to be deleted. He's about to be eradicated, man. He's in a position where he can't avoid the outcome of scenarios. He's trying to control the scenario, right? He's trying to bring forth a scenario, Hegelian dialect, right? It's how he's operating. Right, but ultimately, at the end of it, he's not going to be able to control the outcome, as he thought, as he planned, as he plotted. It's not going to play out, okay? Because prophecy says otherwise, man. Prophecy says what? Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldean. You're going to be stripped of that scepter. You out of there, man. So yeah, man, war is coming. What's happening in Western Asia, the world ignorantly calls the Middle East, is going to continue to escalate. All right, the Wadi Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for that. All right, because that's our ticket home. War is our ticket home. You see, this place being flipped upside down is our ticket home. You see, so we're relishing in the moment, man. And Lord willing, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai keep shortening the days and speeding up time, man, because we need it. Hey, Lord willing, you Akiyam and Akwath were edified. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Lord willing, you were fed, with the comforting words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. This is what we got to do. We got to keep plowing. We got to keep working. We got to stay faithful. We got to keep speaking, okay? Because unbeknownst to the world, Akiyam, hey, we're speaking prophecy into existence, man. How do we know that? The Lord said he's going to confirm the words of his servants, man. So let's keep pushing. Hey, the water for tuning in. Hey, the water for your precepts if you put any up. Salakia at the plantation. You Akiyam and Akwaf know how it is. I got to get up out of here. Hey, stay prayed up, fast as well as pray. You already know. Yahweh Shai's on his way. Hey, shalom, beloved. Akiyam and Akwaf. Shalom, shalom.